Kevin.
Don't hear him either. Kev. Like the way you do this.
On the way. Yeah, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. I'm I'm running. Hang tight.
Happy to be back here in the New York City.
New York City, where ambition meets cutthroat competition. And this weekend, the AVP League enters the arena with two matchups of elite forces. Like art in motion, four of the world's best are sure to craft a masterpiece worthy of the Met in a reveled rivalry between the Palm Beach Passion and the Austin Aces. While the San Diego Smash and the New York Nitro throw caution to the wind in what will be a battle of brute force. Like Frazier and Ali, haymakers once more in the Big Apple. Welcome to your best day on the beach. This is the AVP League. Everyone is chasing something in the concrete jungle, and it's never more true than this weekend as the AVP League brings its best to the Big Apple. An historic first, professional beach volleyball in Central Park and Woolman Rink, a winter favorite turned summer destination. Hello everyone, Cameron Irwin alongside the Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn, and a superb start. The Palm Beach Passion taking on the Austin Aces. Here in New York City, what does New York give to the AVP League in terms of the energy and the emotion in Week 6?
Well, it's wild because we've been down on the piers before, but never in kind of the beating heart of the city, right in Central Park. Rivalry matches like this need very little else to generate energy, but somehow just being in the park gives it a little something extra, right? You feel it. Just even as spectators ourselves, there's this extra boost that goes along with this match.
2 titles to chase in 2025. The first we will take a look at is the Cup standings. It's 16-match season, 8 franchises combined, women and men, 2 pairs on each side, and you're fighting for wins to pick up those standings points. The LA Launch are the top dog through 2025 with just 1 loss between their men's and women's pairing. The Palm Beach Passion, who you will see in this matchup, are fighting to take over that #1 spot. It has been a war that has lasted 4 years, 17 battles between the Palm Beach Passion and Austin Aces. What makes this skirmish unique?
Well, they're 2 of the top teams in the world, and you mentioned how many times they've faced off against one another. It's becoming really a heated rivalry. We've got Canada and the U.S., so there's a little bit of that North American supremacy at stake here, but it's really the quality of these teams that makes the rivalry.
This is an Olympic rematch. 4 Olympians down on the sand. We will start with our focus on Taryn Brasher and Kristen Nuss, currently undefeated, 5-0, and it is a rematch of the round of 16 from Paris. Does that give it a little extra zhuzh in this matchup?
Whatever zhuzh is, I think it absolutely does. Yeah, Taryn and Kristen were on the wrong end of that matchup in Paris, and so they would certainly like to, every time they go out against the Palm Beach Passion, give a little reminder that that was an anomaly.
Well, let's get to know Taryn Brasher. She stands at 6'4", and yes, that is correct. Out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, just 28 years old. She's composed, power, she's smart, she's calculated, and alongside this ground level threat, this is Kristen Nuss, standing at 5'6" out of New Orleans.
The speedster out there, you will be amazed at the things she does defensively with the foot speed and the anticipation. Just an absolute treasure.
A rival we have come to know and love, Melissa Humana-Predis and Brandy Wilkerson, the reigning silver medalist. 6-1, just 1 loss. That was at the beginning of the year. Since then, it's been all upward trajectory.
Yeah, they've been on a hot streak, lost the opener, but it's nothing but wins for both of these teams since that time. And so that's, just another element that goes into this match this afternoon.
This is a team whose edge you don't want to find, and right now they are razor sharp heading into this matchup. Melissa Humana-Predis will be the defender coming out on the sand, 32 years of age, and this is a look at Team Canada, 2 premier defenders on the sand between these 2 teams.
Yeah, and don't let the smiles fool you. They have the expressions on their face that look engaging, but they are looking to tear your throat out on the sand.
And this is gravity's exception, standing at 5'10", one of the best in the world, coming out of Switzerland and also Canada as well. But she just plays at a different level above the height of the net. Yeah,
we talked about the foot speed and the anticipation in Kristen Nuss. Get ready for the athleticism and the explosiveness of Brandy Wilkerson.
Well, let's check in with Brandy Wilkerson about playing here in New York City.
Oh my gosh, it's iconic. It's a moment. I'm so excited. I think everybody, and it's been good to get a lot of energy from the New Yorkers here, as well as everyone coming in from out of town. I grew up coming here all the time, so playing beach volleyball in the middle of Central Park, never thought I would do it, but here it is.
She was locked and loaded heading into this matchup. You can see it, the expression on her face now. Kristen Nuss will start us off. It is a best-of-3 competition. We play sets to 15. Melissa with the first strike, but there's the defensive play. Kristen Nuss sends one to the corner. Poke back, and the quick move for Brandy Wilkerson. With this much talent on the sand, where do your eyes start?
Well, it's all about execution in my mind. These teams know each other so well. You mentioned 17 head-to-head matchups over the last few years. And so they're not going to get surprised by what their opponents are doing. You always have to kind of play that cat and mouse game. I know that you know that I know, and how am I going to adjust? And then it comes down to just getting the job done from an execution standpoint.
Here's a look at the lefty, Wilkerson. Big versus little, big wins out.
Absolutely smothering that is Brandy. We talked about her elevation, and it was on full display right there. Have a look. Kristen does a nice job anticipating that option play, that second ball, but then Brandy just all over the top of that.
It's an 11-6 series between these two teams in favor of Brasher and Nuss. 8-3 in the AVP alone. Again, on the side of Brasher and Nuss. Having to go up and over the block. Here comes Humana Paredes. The smiling assassin does it once more.
Yeah, and that's where Brandy Wilkerson at the net can affect the game so greatly. Kristen Nuss has to go so high with that shot. And Melissa has plenty of time to track it down, and then a great little line shot of her own for the put away.
This Palm Beach team finished out 5-3 last year. They've already bested that in 2025. Let's check in now with the third member of our crew, the two-time Olympian. Here's Kevin Barnett.
Thanks, Cam. You've already touched on the rivalry between these two teams. It's worth mentioning there's a ton of respect between all of these women, but it takes a few things to build a rivalry. First, you need excellence. Both teams personify that. Secondly, you need them to trade victories. They've been doing that throughout this entire time. And then finally, you need circumstance. Here again, they meet with something on the line, that top spot in the AVP league. Now, what will this match demand of each team right now? It's wrinkles and innovation when you've played each other this many times. Much like football, you better have put in some plays in the week leading to this match that you can deploy during the match. So watch a couple of things. One, what does the scouting report look like? What is the strategy coming in? And then after you get Mike Tyson, what happens? How do you adjust to what you're seeing in front of you? In-game adjustments will become critical. Already, Kristen Nuss had told me Brandy causes problems for her at the net. Tight sets equal advantage Palm Beach.
Great work, Kevin, and you're going to get a chance to see that cat and mouse game, as Rich Lamborn called it, immediately. Now 4-2 Palm Beach, make it 3-4. Here come the Austin Aces.
I like that expression from our man Kevin down on the sand too. Once you get Mike Tyson, take a shot to the chin, how do you react? And the 3-0 start for Palm Beach Passion was a little bit of Mike Tyson in the direction of Austin, but they have responded well here.
So while these teams are fighting for cup standings, more importantly, they're fighting for the pairs championship, heading off to Chicago, the final event of the year, as that falls right to the sand. These are the top two teams on the women's side in the standings.
Yeah, there are kind of those two simultaneous competitions, right? You have your combined cup, and then you have the individual gender championships, and both of these teams in prime position to go after that one.
Currently 3 teams on the women's side with just 1 loss. The Palm Beach Passion, one such team. Taryn Brasher from the top deck. Open net, she pulls off. Blocked, and a quick recovery. The finesse to seal the point.
Yeah, Kevin talked about the elements that go into a rivalry. You need quality, you're seeing that here. You need that parity, you need both teams to be on the winning side. And then circumstance, I think, was the third one that he said. And man, this is a great circumstance, and we're seeing the excellence come out of both of these sides early.
Target acquired, Melissa Humana Paredes on the left sideline. And the chop down. We talk about siding out and transition plays, two variables in terms of beach volleyball. How important is it to side out at a high clip?
Yeah, you have to, otherwise you're giving away points, right? There's a point to be earned on every play, and so side out just means you take possession of the ball back, right? And if you don't, your opponents score points and they kind of run away from you a little bit, which is never a good thing.
These are also two of the best side out as well as transition teams. Defenders able to scoop and score, two of the best right now on the sand.
Yeah, transition we would kind of define as taking a defensive opportunity and turning it into a point-scoring situation.
We will switch sides at 8. Brandy Wilkerson has been evolving her serve over the last 3 years. She's working with a jump float now. Here's the option play. Tall block in front and the notorious cut shot for the Palm Beach Passion. The quick start Austin Aces have been plagued with slow starts, and that's the case once more. Are they going to be able to find the differential here in set number 1? They need a push.
AVP League on CBS Sports is sponsored by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP, Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Let the good times cruise. And by StubHub, the official ticketing partner of the AVP.
Good job. I'm not fully convinced it's done yet. We still want to keep growing the sport and taking it to places it's never been before. You don't have to grow up in a typical beach volleyball area and then also being undersized. Showing people and inspiring others that they can kind of create their own path and in a way rewrite their own script, and I think we've done a good job. I'm not fully convinced it's done yet. We still want to keep growing the sport and taking it to places it's never been before. Our partnership started just as two friends having fun on the court.
From that moment, we had created this bond and this trust and this commitment to each other that we were going to do this together.
Going from collegiate to pro, I didn't really know what to expect.
We had never even played in one of those tournaments that was that high of a level as Atlanta was at our first big AVP.
I didn't know we would go win the whole thing. And that kind of just catapulted us.
Their bid to make the Olympic Games.
They just keep getting better and better.
We wanted it to be a team sport. We wanted people to cheer for us as a team, and that's kind of where TKN formed.
Having that level of trust, it shows on the court that we trust each other.
Again, pure magic.
And then from year to year, we don't have to worry about who we're going to play with. We know that we have a solid partnership.
In rhythm are the Aces.
From the beginning, Taryn and I, we wanted to grow the sport.
Get out of the idea that you have to be from California, you have to be from Florida, you have to live out there, you have to do X, Y, and Z to make it happen. And that's just not the case. We wanted to show people that that can be proven wrong.
You don't have to grow up in a typical beach volleyball area and then also being undersized. Showing people and inspiring others that they can kind of create their own path and in a way rewrite their own script, and I think we've done a good job. I'm not fully convinced it's done yet. We still want to keep growing the sport and taking it to places it's never been before.
A team that has truly carved their own path, Team TK, and you can see Kristen Nuss, 16 digs in 3 straight matches. This is something we have seen from her time in Louisiana at LSU, where she partnered up alongside her now partner, Taryn Brasher. Back in 2021, they had an unbeaten season. Sounds awfully familiar, 36-0 for the Tigers in 21. Here's a look. Brasher doing quite a bit of pulling off the net. The high dig, Brandy Wilkerson on her horse. Finds the video board.
Wow.
Beautiful play. How do they recover now? The flag stands on the line. That ball inbounds.
It just caught the back of the end line. You mentioned the winning ways of the Austin Aces. They're up against it a little bit here. You mentioned sometimes, every now and then, they can get out to a little bit of a slow start. And the Palm Beach Passion are firing on all cylinders early in set 1 in this one.
They have lost the first set in their last 3 matches and come away with the victory.
And not a habit you want to get into too much, but they do have a way of settling into their own rhythm.
There's the wizardry, Kristen Nuss. Setting up that butter, Melissa Humano-Paredes, a perfect ball.
Yeah, perfect indeed. That was kind of a tactical pull off the net from Brasher that time. Brandy spotted it and found the open sand in the cross court. There is the foot speed of Kristen Nuss on display. Check the vision of Wilkerson here. As Brasher pulls off the net, just slaps it smoothly cross court.
Option once again. Explain the option and why it's so important in this matchup.
Yeah, we call it the option because at that first contact, the service reception gets passed into a zone where you can either set it with the second contact or you can swing away like we saw Taryn Brasher do there, and teams more and more frequently using that in their offense.
Kevin Barnett talked about wrinkles in the offense, trying to constantly evolve. These two teams, maybe it's the option that will win out. Here it is again. Nuss from the middle of the court. Beautiful touch, the long arm of the law, Brandy Wilkerson.
Yeah, that's a couple already in this first set from Brandy Wilkerson. That set gets too close to the net for Kristen Nuss, and then it is advantage Wilkerson. You can see her just get both of those arms over the top. The wrists even kind of piking downwards on that tight set.
The AVP best blocker in 22 and 23, Brandy Wilkerson, now at the service line. She doesn't even make it to the net. She just wants another point here. Out of bounds, a missed contact.
Yeah, just barely missing. Had the open sand, overturned it a hair, and that's a good break for the Austin Aces. Had that one gone against them, it would have been real trouble in set 1. As it stands, they've still got a hole to fill.
Just the first hitting error on the side of Humano-Paredes and Wilkerson. Wilkerson out of the middle. Shoots to the corner.
Now you can hear a lot of the audio in the background, how much communication goes on any given play. Partners calling out the open zones for each other.
Brandy Wilkerson comes from some athletic bloodlines. Her dad was a professional basketball player, mom a 2-time Ironman finalist. There's Kristen Nuss, just laser precise on her attack. She almost has to be, right?
She has to be, especially trying to work around Brandy at the net. That was a better set, gave her a little bit more room with which to operate. And she does a nice job finding the sideline.
Nuss, the winningest player in NCAA beach volleyball history. 139 career wins. Does a little show and take with the full layout. Here's the turn. Blockers putting in the work. Melissa with the open net. Another gorgeous read and finish.
I mean, tremendous defense on display from both sides there, but the thing of note in that rally is the control of contact from Kristen Nuss. That right there into the hands of Taryn Brasher, her partner. Brandy makes the great touch and turn. But again, watch this one. dug perfectly into, again, that option zone where Brasher has a chance to swing away.
Timeout called. Down to the sand. Here's a look at the Austin Aces. No coach in the box for them. Drew Hamilton at home, biting his nails for sure and screaming at his TV. Let's check in now with Kevin Barnett.
Thanks, Cam. Our hottest event of the year here in New York on a Sunday, and you've seen the sun kind of come and go. It could definitely play a factor, and why will that be with sand? Well, it's the surface. So let's do a little education on sand and how it functions. There's a few reasons it gets super hot. First, it has terrible thermal conductivity. So all the energy rising on the top of the surface or arriving via the sun's rays, they don't go far into the entire mass of sand, and so it stays super hot on top. Secondly, number two, it's low specific heat. And specific heat is how much energy it takes to raise any mass of material 1 degree Celsius. So measure it in pounds, measure it in kilograms, however you want. If you raise it 1 degree Celsius, this happens very easily with sand. Now there's one other non-scientific factor, and that's color. The composition of the sand, both material and color. If you think about Huntington Beach, it has a lot of iron in it. It's darker. It gets super hot really easily. So watch and see. If we get a lot more sunshine here, the sand could wear the players out throughout these matches.
I thought the professor on the beach was Todd Rogers. Apparently it's Kevin Barnett. Great work, as it is definitely steamy here in New York City. Coming up next on CBS, the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix. And then at 3, we have live summer hoops in the Big 3. That's all still to come today on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Can we talk about our guy Bill Nye the Science Guy down on the sand? I mean, I didn't know we were going to be talking thermal conductivity today. I like it.
Kevin Barnett always serving up the lessons. After the timeout, here comes Austin trying to have a surge. Great hustle from Brasher, but too long to go.
Yeah, another good defensive touch.
Kev, you got a little bit more.
I have one more factor. The sun is out again, so if we hit 80 degrees, the sand can be up to 110 degrees usually. Here, we hit 90 degrees, which we're scheduled to today, get close, 120.
Ooh, that's gonna be hot on the toes. No one wearing sand socks today. The net with a little extra emphasis for Taryn Brasher.
Yeah, sometimes the equipment can be your friend. There's a look at the temperature. 85, so with our 30-degree difference, that is what? Something north of 115 degrees on the sand.
Humidity playing a factor too in the sport of beach volleyball. Quiet platform for Kristen Nuss. And she unleashes the soft touch to the power.
Yeah, that's why we call those plays transition plays, Cam, because you see how quickly Kristen goes from defense into offense. Boom, digs that ball perfectly, gets the low set, nobody at the net, finds the perfect space up the middle of the Palm Beach Passion defense.
You won an Olympic gold medal with some defense on your side. What do you think are some of the biggest keys after this point to being able to have that quiet touch as a defender? Here comes Melissa. Finds the antenna, that is out of bounds.
Oh, so the lead has completely evaporated. Yeah, defensively, what makes Kristen and Melissa so great is anticipation, ability to read kind of throughout the development of a play. And then obviously reaction time is important, control of contact once they make those good reads.
The push a bit sooner for the Austin Aces, now on a 5-1 run. Beautiful vision.
And what do we call that play, Cam? A little bit of the Statue of Liberty. A little high knuckle pokey from Melissa into the cross court.
She's got the torch coming out of her right arm. Right back on top, Palm Beach.
This has been a seesaw battle here in the first.
And a troublesome platform. You can't have that at this juncture.
That is very timely if you're Palm Beach, very untimely if you're Austin. And it brings up a set point for the Passion.
Melissa,
see that ball just dance a little bit at the last minute there, Cam, excuse me.
You're good. Melissa Humana-Preta is one of the best in ace to error ratio now with a set point opportunity. This time it's Nuss with the reception. high ball, and ice water. She's cooled off in these temps.
Yeah, you talk about her precision, and there's a nice look at it. That ball had to go high and deep with incredible accuracy in order to evade the Palm Beach Passion defense. But Austin need one here.
Second set point, all Palm Beach needs is a side out. Perfect pass, and an even better option. There's the kill. Brandy Wilkerson seals set number 1. No surprise, just 2 points separating these two Goliaths on the sand. Palm Beach versus Austin. Another Olympic rematch. Second set, we'll be right back after this break. Can Palm Beach close it out? Next weekend, the PGA Tour is back on CBS, and some of golf's best, including Homa and, of course, Fowler and Finau, will be at the TPC Twin Cities competing in the 3M Open. Our live coverage begins at 3 Eastern on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Welcome back to Central Park, and Woolman Rink opened in 1950. Over 70 years of fun here in Central Park as the Palm Beach Passion taking on the Austin Aces. We get set for set number 2. Melissa Humana-Paredes, though, currently rocking her Palm Beach Passion uniform. Sometimes her fashion choices are a little different. Let's check in now with Kevin Barnett.
Yeah, Cam, she's not going to need the other half of this in this particular moment in New York City. We previously talked about Mel's love of games, and you might have noticed an excellent cable knit sweater in that if you've been with us during the season. Turns out it wasn't a one-off. This is only part of her collection of sweaters, of which she is very proud. And then all the onesies. Around Christmas time, she wants to get people to match in onesies. She's dragged in her brother with a matching onesie. She's dragged in her fiancé Connor with matching onesies. They all have played along very nicely. In that picture you saw on the left with the ring up, she actually got engaged in one of her sweaters.
No onesies today, no doubt, in this heat.
Was that a Friends poster on the wall in the background?
That's what I was trying to decipher as well. I mean, we are in the city of Central Perk.
Central Perk, yeah.
As we start set number 2, just 2 points separated these two teams. What do you want to see in terms of response from the Austin Aces?
Well, they were right there. They were kind of down the entire first set, managed to fight their way back, and then just gave up that one critical ace at the last kind of moment there in the first set. You'd like to see a little bit more maybe consistency from both of these teams. There was a lot of ups and downs, which, I mean, you always have to credit your opponent for kind of forcing you into those situations, but you want to be a little bit more steady in your side-out game if you're the Austin Aces. That was a Friends poster we just found out. Which character would you resemble the most, Cam?
I'll let you decide on that one.
Well, I mean, Phoebe's the easy call just because of the blonde hair, right? But I don't think you're that.
Rachel.
I don't think you're that ditzy. I think you're more of a Rachel.
Brandy Wilkerson once more out of the middle attack. Every team, when facing off against the Palm Beach Passion, trying to figure out how to neutralize Brandy Wilkerson, the top attacker from 24 into 25 now.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the Passion do particularly well is they know that everyone's trying to minimize Brandy's effect on the game, but they find ways to involve her, whether she's getting served or not.
You saw the blocks on screen. She also has 2 additional control blocks, another metric that you'll find in beach volleyball. Explain why both of those are so important.
Yeah, well, obviously the stuff blocks turn into direct points, but the control blocks create those transition opportunities that we were talking about, opportunities to score points defensively, which are so critical. And she manages to do things like that last play where she affects the shot trajectory of Kristen Nuss, induces the error.
Had 5 control blocks last night in their 2-set win over the San Diego Smash. And another corner found. Kristen Nuss.
Yeah, missed the one prior, but does a nice job recalibrating, finding the corner with that shot. Look at how high this has to go to get past Wilkerson at the net, though.
Nuss hitting .453, the 3rd highest among defenders. Melissa Humana-Paredes and Maycraft just above her in terms of offensive efficiency. The joust, a little muscle down as well as a collision. Good
Luckily, they come up giggles, yeah. Yeah, it's such a tough play. Brandy has all the momentum going into this joust, we call it, when the 2 players contact the ball simultaneously. So she's able to push that through. And she's all smiles for a different reason. Luckily, the Aces smiles as well after doing the Oklahoma drill on one another.
Hitting .300 as a team and trying to improve there. You see the respect from both blockers as they collide just underneath the net.
Yeah, that's one of those things, you know, where that pass actually is a little bit quick and wide, but because players are so into that option mindset as part of their offense, Taryn able to go up and aggressively make a good shot on that close pass.
4 attack errors for Kristen Nuss. This one has to go.
That is fantastic control from Kristen Nuss. The great touch on the block from Taryn at the net. But then Kristen puts that right on a platter for her partner to put away. Look at the quality of this second contact here. There's the touch. Kristen's got to push that wide to the right arm of Taryn, and she does so beautifully for the little line shot winner.
This matchup showcases 2 of the top 3 most efficient attackers on the women's side, including Melissa Humana-Paredes. Fends off the jumbo. Climbs her way through the sand, a beautiful rescue.
It's hard to describe the level of difficulty on that. The layout backwards to get the dig in the first place, full sprint and then short control on that little waterfall shot. Unbelievable stuff from Nuss.
Nuss over the top of her head. She's completely airborne. That is her 10th kill already in this, or excuse me, 10th dig in this match.
Yeah, you can see that's a great shot from our camera guys right there. The little sand explosion off the hand for the short control.
10 digs. Melissa Monaparedes just with 8. Let's take a look at the standings. These are the top 2 women's teams. Again, Brasher and Nuss trying to hang on to the 5-0 mark that they now reside. But the longest win streak is actually on the side of Monaparedes and Wilkerson, as they have now won 6 straight after dropping the first to the Brooklyn Blaze. That was all the way back in Palm Beach to start. But why is there such strength? Just 3 teams now with 1 loss on the women's side.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are representative of some of the best teams in the world. Brasher and Nuss, I think, #1 in the world currently. So no surprise that they're undefeated. This is Palm Beach's final match of the regular season, right? Every team only plays 8, so Brasher and Nuss have this one and 2 more.
8-match regular season for the men and women. You just saw a look to the men's side. That's what's coming next. That's Chase Budinger and Miles Evans, as they are currently at that number 5 spot. The Palm Beach Passion on the men's side doing a really solid job to that point. And the LA Launch surprising everyone. 2 rookies unbeaten throughout the season. It has been truly an epic 2025 AVP League thus far.
Yeah, lots of surprises. You know, we expect this level from these 2 teams here, the ladies of the Palm Beach Passion, the Austin Aces, but we've had plenty to get excited about in other areas of the league as well.
So each men's pair, each women's pair, fighting to be in the top 6 in their pairs standings. Being in the top 6 books your ticket off to the championships at Oak Street Beach in Chicago in late August. And more importantly for these 2 teams, what's at stake? Well, trying to fight for a top 2 seed. You earn a bye that first round. There's a huge dig. Kristen Nuss denies the kill, as does Melissa. Another pulling dig for Brasher. Quick touches.
You are kidding me.
Unbelievable play.
Just the kind of relentlessness.
Just watch. That was just remarkable from Taryn Brasher. But the Palm Beach Passion steal the highlight. It's hard to know what was the best touch in that rally.
Well, I don't know, the rotator cuff dislocation cover, I think, from Taryn Brasher gets my vote.
I agree with you on that one. The Palm Beach Passion down by 3, and it's right back to the pattern we have seen from the Austin Aces. They are now finding their rhythm. Up by 3 and into the side change. More to come from Central Park and a sold-out crowd.
Pretty stacked season of matchups. I think it is so cool to see how much beach volleyball has exploded. pretty stacked season of matchups. I think it is so cool to see how much beach volleyball has exploded in America due to NCAA and just so many people pursuing this amazing sport. You get to play outside, you get to play in the sand. It takes you so many cool places around the world. So definitely this weekend, definitely the entire season.
A look at Taryn Brasher as she discussed the women's side continues to climb some of the best in the world, and you get a chance to see it right here on CBS. Thus far, she's at 8 kills, 0 errors as they are playing in Central Park for the very first time for professional beach volleyball. As we take a look at the key matchups remaining, this is just on the women's side. A couple of them stand out. The LA Launch will face off against the Austin Aces, a 3-1 team against the 5-0 Aces in week 7. So much still to come. Of course, week 8, you're going to get a chance at the Comerica Center in Dallas, August 8th through the 9th, to witness a few more coming your direction. This is the 6th of our 8-week regular season. Get a chance to see the league championships August 30th through the 31st on the shores of Lake Michigan. If the Palm Beach Passion pick up a win here in their final match, they will clinch a top 2 seed and a bye in the first round of the single elimination tournament. 9-6, what's been the differential here for Austin in set 2?
Well, yeah, we talked about how Austin needs to steady out their side-out game just a little bit. They've done that here, and they're really applying consistent pressure now to the offense of Palm Beach.
You just saw a look as another kill comes at the hand of Melissa Humana-Predis at Taylor Crabb and the New York Nitro. He will be up next alongside Taylor Sander. And our men's matchup, the New York Nitro taking on the San Diego Smash. Miles Evan and Chase Budinger, the NBA star, turned pro beach volleyball player, and more importantly, Olympian at that.
Absolutely. If you like athleticism and highlights, don't miss that matchup.
Extended rally. Nuts back to the line, and you're starting to see a differential attacking from the outside versus the middle. Why does that work for Kristen Nuss?
Well, you got to make Brandy move around a little bit, right? If she can line you up, obviously we've talked about her dynamic athleticism at the net, and so you've got to make her kind of adjust, see if you can't minimize that ability she has to affect plays a little bit. But also, the Austin Aces have adjusted their setting. They're taking it away from the net a little bit so that Kristen has room to operate that. Ooh. Unfortunately, Taryn misses the second contact, but that dig was spectacular. The back pedal spike dig. Kristen Nuss.
This team of the Austin Aces have won 8 titles in the AVP since 2021. The first being in Atlanta. It was folklore turned into fact, coming through the qualifier all the way to the final and taking the win. They constantly meet this team in the final as Melissa saves one from the sand. Would you put your money on these 2 teams being in the Chicago Championship final?
I think you would have to. I mean, that is definitely where the smart money would go. That is why we love sport, though. You know, anything can happen on any given day, but these 2 teams have shown their class and their consistency throughout the entirety of the league play thus far.
York University Lions, the Palm Beach Passion, both Mel and Brandy playing their university time in Canada alongside one another indoors. Then they came out to the beach, played with different partners, became Olympians, decided to stay alongside one another. Nuss right over the top.
Yeah, you see Melissa put her arms up in the air, thought that set from Brasher in transition was a little bit questionable. Have a look. And it comes out quick and a little spinny. Allowed to go, and that is a nice shot to finish out from Kristen Nuss. Melissa getting a good beat on those line shots now. We talked about how Kristen has to change the trajectory to get around Wilkerson. And Melissa starting to make some good reads, and it has tightened up this second set.
See the numbers on screen? On the women's side, a 400 mark has become somewhat average. 500 is where you need to be able to pick up the win And you have to have speed like Kristen Nuss. Dialed just right.
I mean, just scurrying through the sand like it's nothing. Completely ignoring Kevin's sand report and the heat out there, finding all kinds of defense. And then this look at the put away. Wasn't in a position, it didn't seem like, to where she could kill that ball, but just went wisely deep to the middle. Found some open space for the winner.
Nuss now leading in kills with 11. Humana Paredes and Wilkerson each with 9. Melissa looking for double digits. Instead, it's tipped up, denied by Taryn Brasher.
Yeah, that is a phenomenal read from Taryn Brasher at the net. You can see as that set got inside, she actually stepped wide to the sideline. Knew a shot was coming as the set was a little bit back off the net. Have a look at this. Step there, wait, swat. Great stuff. Great anticipation from Taryn Brasher.
Brasher slamming the door shut, finding just her first block in this match. Austin Ace is just 2 points away from sending this to set 3. A tight ball, double axe handle, winner.
The old Tommy spike dig. Tommy is short for tomahawk. You get those hands up over your head, join them with the fingers, and just knock that thing back into the deep part of the court for the winner.
A 4-0 run for the Austin Aces. Melissa Humana Paredes has seen the majority of side-out pressure. Will Brasher go right back to her? She does just that. A nice high lift. And an error from the right side sends us to a third set. The 4th straight 3-set match for the Austin Aces. They are 3-0 in 3-set matches. Will their winning ways continue after the break right here on CBS? Palm Beach versus Austin. A look to Central Park and another sold-out crowd. Week 6 action in the AVP League in the biggest city in the world, right here, New York, as everyone has showed up and showed out for one of the best rivalries we have seen in the history of the sport. The Palm Beach Passion and the Austin Aces, Melissa Humana-Paredes and her partner Brandy Wilkerson, the reigning silver medalist, taking on a team that they have the series against, 6-11 in favor of Brasher and Nuss. Kristen Nuss, one of the premier defenders, on the other side as we get set for the deciding set. These are the kind of moments you live for as a competitor. Palm Beach Passion calling this rivalry an absolute grind. The first point is just that. Another massive layout. Brasher catches Melissa the wrong direction.
Yeah, but Melissa, again, starting to track down all those loopy shots that have to go over the block of Brandy Wilkerson. So Palm Beach Passion are making it difficult for the Austin Aces to side out. This game, kind of like we talked about at the top of the match, Cam, is going to come down to execution. Those first two sets were kind of mirror images of one another. Palm Beach Passion out to an early lead in set one. Austin fought their way back, but gave it up late, and kind of the reverse of that was true in set two. So it's going to come down to who can make a couple of plays here and there defensively, or who makes fewer mistakes like that one from Brandy Wilkerson.
In that first rally, the ball crossed the net 6 total times. It feels like when you get into set three, it really comes down to the defenders. As you take a look, again, 11-6, Brasher and Nuss with the lead.
At least it's not warm out here, Cam.
Not to mention, yeah, the heat, adding an extra element to this matchup and this rivalry.
That is out of bounds long, 3-0. Austin winning a challenge.
They're going to challenge this call. Our officials coming down from the ref stand. Take a look. And a quick look at that.
You know, the challenge is just kind of a visual confirmation challenge. The official will get down and look at the ball mark. Here we get another look at it. Yeah, pretty clearly long of the end line there on second look. So back-to-back mistakes from the Palm Beach Passion have them in an early hole here in set number 3.
Cut shot saved from her knee, and it's Melissa.
That one's going to go long, too.
When you have that much explosiveness, sometimes it's hard to contain.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a bang-bang play. Melissa made a great dig, and Brandy was in a good position, made the right decision, just got a little too much juice on that knuckle.
A 4-0 run for the Austin Aces, a dream of a start here in set 3. Let's check in now with Kevin Barnett and the Austin Aces.
Between sets 2 and 3, had a chance to check in with Austin in the box. And first of all, Taryn Brasher was feeling the heat for sure, just trying to get some liquids immediately upon entering the player's box underneath that umbrella. But I got a chance with Kristen Nuss. She said, the difference in that second set for us was we were in system a little bit more, and then we also had better quality of contact. She was getting to some stuff in that first set, but not really playing it up, especially towards the end of that second. You saw the shoot over, lots of other creativity. They were controlling the ball, and that's continued so far here in the third.
So describing in-system play means they're right in rhythm, first pass, second set, and then finding the kill as we take a look to the Olympians on the women's side. 4 such currently on the sand, and 2-time at that for Melissa Humana-Paredes and Brandy Wilkerson. Kelly Chang also in the mix in the league. But furthering in-system play, Rich, it's really
there's kind of a rhythm to any given sort of offensive attempt, right? You want to receive the ball well, kind of in front of you, so that your partner sets you with some sort of, I don't know, there's this sort of internal rhythm that you feel, right? And so if you can maintain that, your chances of earning points offensively go up drastically. And your opponents are trying to disrupt that rhythm and make it a little bit more difficult for you.
Speaking of disrupting, the Palm Beach Passion just disrupted the 9-0 run from the second set now into the third set. A look to the numbers for Humana-Paredes and Wilkerson. Again, we talked about it. You want to be at that 500 mark on the season, 526. Well below that today.
Yeah, if you give up 9 straight, that's going to hurt your hitting efficiency.
And that is as well.
Yeah, again, that is the correct decision from Wilkerson, I think, to go with that ball on 2. Just kind of misses the mark, and that's what we talk about when we refer to execution. Now, you can make the good decisions all day long, but you've then got to execute upon those decisions.
One of the best parts about this matchup is you'll get a chance to see it for years to come. Both these teams eyeing LA 2028.
It's a battle on the American women's side, too. So many strong teams, and the U.S. can only have 2 teams represent them in Los Angeles in a couple years' time. Oh, man. Ooh, that one misses. So, again, Nuss going for that line corner. Mel was on it, but watches that one fall long of the end line.
Rich, would you like being in a competition like this in terms of a team? You've seen time and time again, meeting 8 total times in the finals, or excuse me, 5 times in their 8 titles for TKN.
Yeah, I think you relish the rivalries, right? You want to be tested, you want to play the best in the world, and that's what both of these teams are facing whenever they square off against one another. So I think as competitors, you accept and you relish that challenge on a certain level. I mean, everyone would like an easy win here and there, but that's not what you're going to get when these 2 teams play one another.
Tight ball over to the right side. We talked about in system. That's out of system.
Yeah, pass was a little bit close, so Kristen had to do a little bit of limbo to try and save it from the net. Can't get that perfect set up there. And a couple hitting errors now from the aces let the Palm Beach Passion back in.
Big approach and a bigger swing, but here comes Mel. The quick chase, faster set. Creativity is just unimaginable.
Yeah, I mean, that set was kind of a little bit low and close. We've talked about the trajectory she has to find, and she does a beautiful job of it here, just sending that one skyward. And you can see kind of crisscrossing the feet of Melissa Humana-Paredes in the backcourt.
Massive numbers for Nuss, 13 kills, 18 digs. Make it 19. Brasher tries to recover at the net, but her partner's there to save her. Quick check down and another full layout.
No touch, no touch.
Nuss continues to do damage at the depth of the court.
I mean, it is unbelievable what she's putting on display right here as far as shot-making ability.
19 total digs. It's her 5th match over 10 plus, and you gotta wonder, well, how many is it with 20 plus? She's just around the corner. Just how challenging is it to get over the block of Brandy Wilkerson?
Well, it's challenging. She's had to completely alter sort of her approach and the trajectory with which she's hitting her shots, but those are the kind of adjustments that elite players make. And Taryn doing a nice job of affecting shots as well on her side of the net.
Making the most of the opportunity, the Palm Beach Passion. Several indoor venues throughout the AVP League in 2025. This is one of our outdoor venues, adding a few extra elements, where we're just 1 to the end change. Big element today, the heat, the humidity. Loves to attack right back into the angle.
She can absolutely hammer that angle, but she has that deft touch as well.
Switching sides now as the sun pops back out for all 4 of our pros. Again, the last 3 matches for the Austin Aces going the distance all the way to set number 3. They picked up each one of those wins. But no bigger victory would be won than right here against the Palm Beach Passion.
Absolutely. If the first 2 sets are any indicator, you can expect a little bit of push from Palm Beach.
Does it start here, down by 3? The amount of hustle by these defenders.
That is a critical defensive save right there from Palm Beach. Melissa on her horse to get that line shot up, and a great put away. You see patient on defense, not leaving until she sees the shot, and then some good footwork to get to that set.
Volleyball has been a part of her life since she was in diapers. Her dad, an Olympic volleyball coach. She started playing beach volleyball just the age of 12. These are the moments she's trained for.
9-6.
You can see at 6'4", Taryn able to come up with a little bit of a different trajectory to get over Brandy Wilkerson. Just kind of shooting that ball flat over the top.
Safe to say that one's a bit more linear. Executing at the highest level when it's needed. The Palm Beach Passion.
Yeah, I love that option play. Kristen again made a tremendous read sliding in there, but a little too much mustard on the dog, goes over the net.
Back and forth and back and forth we go. The aces are just fine with the side outs back and forth. Brandy and Melanie something on their serve. Brandy back there at 7-9.
Wilkerson locked in. Option net. There's no shovel that can dig that.
There is none, Cam. A couple option plays back to back from both sides. Very impressive.
Just one ace in this entire match between two teams.
Yeah, and that was late in the first to kind of seal it for Palm Beach.
Another option.
Yeah, and that's what's so good about that play is Brasher's still trying to make her way to the net, has to pull back into a defensive posture, and can't quite get the handle on it.
Choosing the right time with Brasher still running to the net, not able to get the distance. Melissa sitting in the angle, chases the line. Tight ball, she chooses the short waterfall.
Yeah, just a little baby line. That is tremendous touch from Melissa, and another great rundown on a line shot. I'm interested to see, we know about the cut shot of Kristen Nuss. We haven't seen a lot of it in this match. See if she goes to it late, because if you're Palm Beach, you have to figure so many line shots have come.
Palm Beach aims for the tie. Instead, a little touch from Wilkerson.
You could hear the exhortation of Kristen Nuss shouting angle repeatedly. Taryn doing a nice job of listening and executing.
They're just lucky the Hangle doesn't come out. One of their favorite calls. Actually, you can catch the Hangle t-shirt from the Austin Aces on some of their merch. The team TKN.
It's close.
Tight ball. As the net violation sends the point to the Austin Aces.
That's been the difference in this third set. Just a few too many unforced errors from Palm Beach. A couple hitting mistakes, and then that setting mistake there. And it gives essentially a free point to Austin. You can see Taryn able to get on that ball first.
Option, but it's the light touch this time for Brandy Wilkerson. They found a surge at the midway point of set number 3. They need another. Palm Beach wins this match. They end up a top 2 seed into Chicago, that first round bye. If they lose, it's going to be quite a drop in the standings. They would be at 6-2, a 75% win percentage, moving to 3rd place with a win over LA. Big swing, pressure.
There's a look again. That option has been working for both teams. Brasher just detonating on 2.
Dynamic play needed for the Palm Beach Passion. Instead, housed. Another monster block, Taryn Brasher.
Yeah, tries that little wrap up over the top of the block, but Taryn Brasher not having it.
A monster block sends us to a match point for the Austin Aces. Looking for a third set magical play. After the slow clap, the emphasis, Melissa Humana-Paredes.
Yeah, I love that too. No tentativeness there. Melissa coming in aggressively and teeing off. They're going to need to find some magic here. They need no fewer than 3 points or this match is over.
A blistering swing from Humana-Paredes and a second set point for the Austin Aces. Does it come with power? Fended off. And Brasher with a second chance from 5 feet. The error.
There's one.
The Palm Beach Passion need defensive plays right now.
They certainly do. I know Kevin loves the Lincoln Park corollary that I like to go to, Cam. It starts with one. Palm Beach got it, but they need 2 more here.
How composed can you be in a moment like this? Brasher finds the edge of the block, and more importantly, finds the win.
Crazy, that's just the rub sometimes, Brandy, all over that, but Taryn able to just wiggle that through the block for the victory. Austin loves to start slow, drop the first, but man, they are good. They are undefeated, I believe, in 3 setters.
Their 4th straight win in the 3rd set. The Austin Aces, man, they grind through these matches, and they are setting their sights on Chicago. The men's matchup coming up on the other side. In the city that never sleeps, don't sleep on the Austin Aces. Another victory on their side, remaining undefeated. Let's join Kevin Barnett now with our winners.
Kristen and Taryn, congratulations. Kristen, for you, for folks that are watching you for the first time, picking up all these digs, what are you seeing before anybody else? You're leaving so early. Where's your focus defensively?
No, I think I try and just stay patient and react and just trust my first step. And obviously she puts up a very large block at the net, so it makes shots have to go a little extra higher, so it gives me just that little split second extra. But yeah, staying patient and just trying to react as soon as the ball comes off their hand.
Yeah, you did get there a few times at the last second. Taryn, for you against Brandy, what is special about that? What does she bring out in you when you have to face her?
Yeah, she is a huge block. She's very undersized for how big her block is. It's so impressive. If you see her in person, you would never guess that. And then you watch her play, and she plays even bigger than she is. So, yeah, you just have to bring out your best offense because she is a huge block. She has great moves, and she's very, very athletic.
Now, I tried to grab you between sets. You were gulping down water, couldn't talk. Tell me about the sand conditions out here. Hottest event of the year so far.
Yeah, that's okay with us. We train in Louisiana, and our coach, Drew Hamilton, has us practicing at the hottest time of the day. So that is exactly what we like and exactly what we're used to in training, and we think it's a very big benefit that we have training in Louisiana.
Yeah, you're built for this, and I know you guys are representing Austin, and very important things are going on with you guys and all the heartache down there after the flooding. Kristen, fill us in on how people can get involved.
Yeah, we have an Austin Aces collection on our website, tcanvball.com. All proceeds now through August 3rd are going to the Austin Disaster Relief Network, so all proceeds are going to them. We were just devastated by the news and wanted to help, especially obviously since we're representing the Austin Aces, so please go support Austin and just help make a difference.
Great work you're doing there, and congratulations. Looking good for Chicago.
The Austin Aces continuing to make a difference in their community. Again, they mentioned them being able to play in Louisiana in this humidity, and it has truly been a remarkable matchup. Kristen Nuss ends up with 25 digs, a new league record for matches. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Again, Cameron Irwin alongside Rich Lamborn, and it was an impressive performance by Nuss in the backcourt.
Yeah, it was. She broke the record last night, broke it again here this afternoon for most digs in a match. I mean, she is just unbelievable to watch defensively. That was one of the highlights for me, the layout dig and the little waterfall shot. She seemed to be everywhere.
Does this match, this result, set the tone for Chicago, for the Austin Aces?
Well, I think it does. I mean, we talked a lot about the rivalry between these two teams. So they have high expectations of this matchup, but of themselves, of course, in this matchup. So this just adds another sort of log to that rivalry fire.
Let's take a look at the women's standings. Brasher and Nuss, again, a perfect 6-0, and this is the biggest jump. Humana Paredes and Wilkerson drop down to number 3 at 6-2. That's 75% win percentage, which is the same as Cannon and Kraft. However, they have the head-to-head win over the LA Launch, hence they sit in that third place position. That was the final matchup for the Palm Beach Passion in the regular season. On the women's side, again, Cameron Irwin alongside the Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn. And now we get a chance to look ahead. The men's matchup just around the corner. It is San Diego versus New York. How much of New York's hometown crowd is going to be a difference maker in this?
Well, I think it's always nice to have the crowd on your side, right? Taylor and Taylor for the New York Nitro, one of the most popular teams we have in the league, right? I mean, they're just a highlight factory, that duo, and so the crowd's going to be into it big.
Without question, two of the most impressive offenses on the men's side that you will see. Let's take a look at where they reside. This, again, is for the pairs championship that will come in Chicago. Crabb and Sanders sitting at 4-1. But on the other side, the San Diego Smash at 3-4. Buttinger and Evans, they're going to have to do some work as they need to try and stay in that top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's chasing Smith and Weber. They still have a little bit of work left to do, sort of half their matches remaining. But Taylor and Taylor for the New York Nitro in pretty good spot here, especially at home.
Taylor Sander, one of the best servers on the sand. He's going to be whipping that arm through against Buttinger and Evans. Match to come here at Woolman Rink in Central Park. Thanks for joining us here with the AVP League.